This is Michael Kajowski at my social media channels. There you see a little Mark Twain book down there. I want to thank you for joining me for today's edition of Book Talk. Today, by the way, is January 3rd, 2026. Hope you're having a happy holiday season and happy new year. That's an old bookshelf from 10 years ago when I was living at my apartment, one of my apartments in Shenzhen, China. Bret Harte, 1836 to 1902, was a prominent 19th century American author, poet, and journalist credited with bridging the sentimental fiction with realism and also with writing, romanticizing the California Gold Rush era. There is a familiar shot of my back window and back porch where I've done most of my book talks from and my social media channels at Michael Kajowski. And so today I'd like to do Bret Harte, as I mentioned, and join in progress from a back window. I remember, this is from a back window. I remember that long ago as a sanguine and trustful child, I became possessed of a highly colored lithograph representing a fair Circassian sitting by a window. Show me the back windows of a man's dwelling, and I will tell you his character. The rear of a house only is sincere. The attitude of deception kept up at the front windows leaves the back area defenseless. I fear the real enjoyment of two children raking over an old dust heap in the alley, containing the waste and debris of all the backyards in the neighborhood. What a wealth of soda water bottles and old iron they have acquired, but I am waiting for an even more familiar prospect from my back window. I know that later in the afternoon, when the evening paper comes, a thick-set, gray-haired man will appear in his shirt sleeves at the back door of number 9 and seating himself on the doorstep begin to read. He lives in a pretentious house and I hear he is a rich man. But there is such humility in his attitude and such evidence of gratitude at being allowed to sit outside of his own house and read his paper in his shirt sleeves that I can picture his domestic history pretty clearly. Perhaps he is following some old habit of humbler days. Perhaps he has entered into an agreement with his wife not to indulge his disgraceful